Hello, I'm SA, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin. The intellectual currents of China's mid-Qing Dynasty, during the long and prosperous reign of the Qianlong Emperor, flowed with a powerful and seemingly contradictory force. This was the age of kaozheng, or evidential research, a scholarly movement that turned away from the abstract metaphysics of earlier Song and Ming dynasty Neo-Confucianism. It championed instead a rigorous, almost forensic empiricism. Scholars filled libraries with meticulous textual criticism, philological analysis, historical studies, and a renewed interest in practical sciences like mathematics, geography, and astronomy. The air was thick with the ambition of recovering and mastering ancient knowledge, of understanding the world through tangible evidence and precise calculation. It was an era that celebrated the life of the mind, with an intensity that produced encyclopedic compilations of staggering scope. Simultaneously, the very Neo-Confucian social order that these scholars were intellectually questioning in its metaphysical form became more deeply entrenched in practice. The codes of conduct, particularly those governing the lives of women, grew ever more restrictive. The ideal of female virtue was increasingly defined by domesticity, deference, and a deliberate separation from the public world of scholarship and statecraft. A woman's sphere was the inner chamber. Her tools were the needle and the loom, her texts the primers on proper etiquette and filial piety. The great intellectual ferment of the age was, by design, a conversation among men. Into this world of brilliant scholarship and suffocating social expectation was born Wang Zhenyi in the year 1768. Her life, a brief and incandescent 29 years, presents a profound resolution to this apparent cultural schism. She became a celebrated astronomer, mathematician, and poet, a figure whose accomplishments would be remarkable in any era, yet feel almost miraculous in her own. Her story is one of an extraordinary mind, shaped by an equally extraordinary education, an apprenticeship in polymathy conducted within the sanctuary of her own family. This upbringing provided her with the intellectual tools to engage with the most complex scientific questions of her day and the courage to assert her voice in a world that expected her silence. Her first and perhaps most foundational tutor was her grandfather, Wang Zhenyi, a formidable scholar official in his own right. He served as the governor of Fengshan County and was a master of the kaozheng tradition. His library was her first classroom, a universe of texts numbering over 75 bookcases. Here, under his guidance, the young Wang Zhenyi absorbed history, geography, and the practical arts of governance. This was an education rooted in consequence. History was a repository of precedent, a guide to understanding the vast cyclical movements of dynasties and the intricate mechanics of state power. Geography and cartography were essential for administration, for planning hydraulic projects to control floods, and for organizing famine relief. Through her grandfather, she learned that knowledge was a powerful, functional instrument. She was exposed to the immense, tangible systems that governed human society and the natural world, and she learned to see them as problems to be analyzed and understood through careful study of evidence. This perspective, gained from poring over historical annals and provincial maps, cultivated in her a mind comfortable with scale. She learned to think in terms of decades and dynasties, of river systems and provincial boundaries. Her grandfather's library gave her a deep appreciation for the long arc of intellectual history, for the accumulation of knowledge over centuries. She was reading the same foundational texts that male scholars were, but she was processing them through the lens of a governor's practical concerns, an early and vital connection between abstract theory and concrete application. This experience with large-scale observable systems would become the bedrock upon which she would later build her understanding of a far larger system, the cosmos itself. Upon her grandfather's death, the family's travels began, and her education passed into the hands of her father, Wang Zhenyi, a physician and a scholar of broad interests. He failed the imperial examinations and thus was free from the rigid career path of a government official. This seeming failure became his daughter's great fortune. Unfettered by a bureaucratic post, Wang Zhenyi pursued his intellectual passions, and he took his daughter with him. For over 5 years they traveled extensively, from the regions south of the Yangtze River, all the way to Beijing and Shanxi province. This period of itinerancy was her laboratory. While her grandfather's library had been a world of texts, her travels with her father became a world of phenomena. Wang Zhenyi's medical practice was itself a form of scientific inquiry, demanding careful observation of symptoms, an understanding of the body's complex systems, and a knowledge of botany and pharmacology. He instructed his daughter in these arts, alongside mathematics and other sciences. On their journeys, she was his intellectual companion. She learned to read the sky, to predict weather, to study the land, to understand its formation, and to apply mathematical principles to the problems they encountered. This was an education that dissolved the walls of the classroom, blending formal instruction with direct, empirical engagement with the world. She saw firsthand the diversity of the empire, its different climates, customs, and challenges. This constant movement and observation sharpened her intellect and immunized her against the parochialism that could afflict even the most learned scholars. Her father's curriculum was eclectic and advanced. He introduced her to the works of the great Qing mathematician and astronomer Mei Wending, whose complex synthesis of Chinese and Western astronomical knowledge represented the pinnacle of the field. These were difficult, dense texts, filled with intricate calculations and novel concepts. For a young woman of her time, access to such material was almost unheard of. With her father as her guide, she began to wrestle with the fundamental problems of celestial mechanics, developing the mathematical fluency that would later enable her own groundbreaking work. Her father cultivated her mind without regard for the gendered limitations of their society, seeing only her prodigious talent and feeding it with the most challenging material he could find. The third pillar of her education was her grandmother, known by her surname Dong. While her grandfather provided the historical scope and her father the scientific method, her grandmother gave her the gift of expression. She was an accomplished poet, and she instructed Wang Zhenyi in the art of versification. In 18th century China, poetry was far more than a genteel pastime. It was the lingua franca of the educated elite, a medium for philosophical debate, social commentary, and the articulation of one's deepest thoughts and feelings. For a woman, it was one of the few socially acceptable avenues for intellectual expression. Under her grandmother's tutelage, Wang Zhenyi mastered the intricate forms and rich, elusive traditions of classical Chinese poetry. She learned to craft couplets of exquisite balance and to deploy language with precision and power. This literary training was essential. It gave her a voice. It taught her how to structure an argument, how to persuade, and how to communicate complex ideas with elegance and clarity. Her later scientific treatises are notable for their lucid prose, a direct result of her poetic discipline. Her poems themselves often became vessels for her scientific and philosophical ideas, celebrating the beauty of the cosmos while also lamenting the societal constraints that sought to limit her intellectual horizons. One of her most famous lines speaks of her ambition. "It is made to believe women are the same as men. Are you convinced daughters can also be heroic?" This was a sentiment forged in poetry, but aimed squarely at the scientific establishment. This tripartite education, historical, scientific, and literary, was a seamless whole. It was an apprenticeship in seeing the world from multiple perspectives, of understanding that a problem in celestial mechanics was simultaneously a problem of mathematics, of history, and of philosophy. It armed her against the intellectual fragmentation that often characterized specialized scholarship. She saw the connections between the movements of the planets and the principles of geometry, between the writing of a poem and the formulation of a proof. Her family had, in essence, created a bespoke curriculum for a genius, ignoring the prescriptions of their age, and instead cultivating her unique combination of analytical rigor and expressive talent. She was being prepared in this mobile, intellectually vibrant household to engage with the universe on her own terms, to build models of the heavens, and to write herself into the great conversation from which she was supposed to be excluded. Her upbringing, a blend of rigorous academic training and exposure to a rich literary and philosophical tradition, profoundly shaped her approach to astronomy. This holistic education fostered an intuitive understanding of the interconnectedness of seemingly disparate fields. She saw the cosmos not as a collection of isolated celestial bodies, but as a dynamic system governed by mathematical principles and subject to historical change. This perspective allowed her to approach the challenges of her time with a unique blend of analytical rigor and creative insight. The official astronomy of her era, deeply embedded within the rituals and ceremonies of the imperial court, often lacked a strong foundation in empirical observation and readily understandable explanations. Predictions of celestial events, such as solar and lunar eclipses, were frequently based on complex, often opaque, calculations derived from ancient texts. These methods, while possessing historical significance, were often imprecise and failed to provide a clear, mechanistic understanding of the phenomena they sought to describe. This created a significant gap between the theoretical predictions and the actual observed events, leaving room for both confusion and skepticism. Wang Zhenyi addressed this problem directly through a combination of meticulous observation, innovative experimentation, and remarkably clear pedagogical methods. She recognized the need to bridge the divide between the esoteric calculations of court astronomers and the readily accessible understanding of the common person. Her famous experiment demonstrating the mechanics of a lunar eclipse serves as a powerful example of her approach. Using a simple apparatus, a lamp to represent the sun, a round table to represent the ecliptic plane, a mirror to represent the moon, and a suspended globe to represent the Earth, she provided a compelling visual demonstration of how the Earth's shadow causes a lunar eclipse. This ingenious experiment was far more than a mere illustration. It was a powerful tool for conveying complex scientific principles in an accessible and intuitive manner. It shifted the focus from abstract calculations to concrete, observable phenomena, making the science of astronomy more tangible and less intimidating. Her treatise, Dispute of the Precession of the Equinoxes, further highlights her intellectual prowess and her commitment to clarity. The precession of the equinoxes, the slow cyclical shift in the Earth's axis of rotation, is a subtle but significant celestial phenomenon. Its accurate description and calculation require sophisticated mathematical techniques and a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. Wang Zhenyi, through her meticulous work, refined existing models and provided a more accurate calculation of this precession. Her work was not merely a reiteration of established knowledge, it represented a significant advancement in the precision and understanding of this complex astronomical phenomenon. What distinguishes her work is its clarity and accessibility, a deliberate effort to make this complex subject understandable to a wider audience. She shunned the obfuscation that often characterized scholarly writing of the time, opting instead for a direct and transparent presentation of her findings. Her contributions extended beyond the refinement of existing models. She actively challenged established orthodoxy, notably the geocentric model of the universe, which placed the Earth at the center of the cosmos. While she did not propose a fully heliocentric model, her careful observations and calculations led her to question the fundamental assumptions of the geocentric system. Her arguments, presented with both intellectual rigor and a compelling narrative, demonstrated her willingness to engage with and challenge prevailing scientific paradigms. This intellectual courage, combined with her commitment to empirical observation and mathematical precision, set her apart from many of her contemporaries. Her work on star counts, for example, provided further evidence supporting her critique of the existing models. By meticulously recording and analyzing stellar positions, she provided empirical data that challenged the assumptions underpinning the geocentric worldview. Wang Zhenyi's legacy as an astronomer extends beyond her specific contributions. Her approach, combining rigorous scientific inquiry with a commitment to clear and accessible communication, serves as a powerful model for scientific practice and pedagogy. Her ability to synthesize complex ideas and present them in a readily understandable form is a testament to her intellectual skill and her dedication to the dissemination of knowledge. Her work stands as a powerful reminder that significant scientific advancements are not only about making new discoveries, but also about making those discoveries accessible and understandable to a wider audience. The enduring impact of her work lies not merely in its scientific accuracy, but also in its pedagogical innovation, a legacy that continues to resonate in contemporary science communication and education. Building upon her meticulous astronomical observations, Wang Zhenyi channeled her prodigious intellect into a different realm, the democratization of mathematical knowledge. The complex mathematical landscape of her time, exemplified by the dense and often inaccessible treatises of scholars like May Wending, presented a significant challenge. Many advanced mathematical concepts remained confined within the scholarly elite, hindering broader scientific progress. Wang Zhenyi's response was a masterful act of synthesis and simplification, embodied in her seminal work, The Simple Principles of Calculation. This wasn't merely a rehashing of existing texts. It was a complete reimagining of how complex mathematical ideas could be presented. Wang Zhenyi possessed a rare ability to distill intricate concepts into their essential elements, presenting them with clarity and precision, making advanced mathematical reasoning accessible to a much wider audience. She achieved this through a combination of elegant explanations, carefully chosen examples, and a pedagogical approach that emphasized intuitive understanding over rote memorization. Her work stands as a testament to her exceptional mathematical acumen and her deep commitment to education. Consider, for instance, her treatment of trigonometry. May Wending's work, while mathematically rigorous, often employed dense notation and complex proofs that could easily overwhelm a novice. Wang Zhenyi, in contrast, approached the topic with a keen eye for pedagogical clarity. She began with fundamental geometric principles, building up gradually to more advanced concepts. She meticulously explained each step in the process, providing numerous illustrative examples to solidify understanding. Her explanations of trigonometric identities, for example, were far more accessible than those found in contemporary texts. She didn't simply state the identities, she demonstrated their validity through clear and concise geometric arguments, making them readily comprehensible even to those with limited mathematical background. Similarly, her approach to arithmetic was revolutionary. While many contemporary mathematicians focused on abstract algorithms, Wang Zhenyi grounded her explanations in practical applications. She provided numerous real-world examples to illustrate the relevance of arithmetic operations, thereby enhancing understanding and motivation. She demonstrated how arithmetic could be used to solve problems in surveying, commerce, and astronomy, linking abstract mathematical concepts to tangible real-world scenarios. This pragmatic approach made the study of arithmetic considerably more engaging and relevant for a broader audience. Beyond her masterful simplification of existing works, Wang Zhenyi also made original contributions to mathematics. She presented elegant and insightful proofs of the Pythagorean theorem, a cornerstone of geometry. Her proofs, while employing established principles, demonstrated a remarkable creativity and elegance in their construction. They were not merely replications of existing proofs. They offered fresh perspectives and demonstrated an exceptional command of geometrical reasoning. These original contributions further solidify her position as a significant mathematical figure. Her work on the Pythagorean theorem is not merely a historical curiosity. It showcases her ability to approach fundamental mathematical problems with originality and insight. The impact of Wang Zhenyi's mathematical work extends far beyond her immediate contemporaries. Her simple principles of calculation served as a crucial textbook for generations of students, shaping the mathematical education of countless individuals. Her emphasis on clarity, accessibility, and practical application set a high standard for mathematical pedagogy, influencing subsequent generations of educators. Her work provides a valuable historical case study in the art of making complex knowledge accessible without sacrificing rigor. This remains a central challenge in modern science education, highlighting the enduring relevance of her approach. The principles she championed, clear communication, practical application, and a focus on intuitive understanding, are as relevant today as they were in her time. Her legacy, therefore, is not confined to her specific mathematical contributions, but extends to her profound influence on the teaching and learning of mathematics. Her work continues to inspire educators and mathematicians alike, serving as a powerful reminder of the importance of making complex ideas accessible to a wider audience. The enduring value of Wang Zhenyi's work lies in its dual nature. It represents both a significant contribution to the field of mathematics itself and a groundbreaking advancement in mathematical pedagogy. She didn't merely solve mathematical problems, she reshaped how those problems were presented and understood, leaving an indelible mark on the history of mathematics and education. Her ability to synthesize complex ideas and present them in a clear and accessible manner remains a powerful model for scientific communication and education, a legacy that continues to resonate in contemporary approaches to STEM pedagogy. The profound impact of her work is a testament to her exceptional talent and her unwavering commitment to sharing knowledge. Wang Zhenyi's intellectual contributions extend far beyond the realm of precise calculations and elegant proofs. Her writings, particularly her insightful essays and evocative poetry, offer a window into a mind that viewed intellectual pursuit as a unified endeavor, a holistic exploration of the universe and humanity's place within it. Her essay on women's learning stands as a powerful testament to her belief in the inherent right of all individuals, regardless of gender, to engage in the pursuit of knowledge. This wasn't a mere advocacy for women's education. It was a fundamental assertion of the indivisibility of knowledge itself, a rejection of any artificial boundaries separating intellectual disciplines. For Wang Zhenyi, mathematics, astronomy, and poetry were not distinct pursuits but facets of a single grand quest for understanding. Her poetry, often infused with astronomical imagery and mathematical precision, reflects this unified worldview, demonstrating the seamless integration of art and science in her mind. The elegance of her verse mirrors the elegance of her mathematical proofs, revealing a profound connection between artistic expression and scientific rigor. This interdisciplinary approach challenges the often compartmentalized nature of modern academia, reminding us of the inherent interconnectedness of knowledge. Her tragically early death at the age of 29 serves as a poignant reminder of the immense potential lost when brilliant minds are prematurely extinguished. Yet, the enduring legacy of her work, meticulously preserved by those who recognized its significance, speaks volumes about her profound impact. Her contributions survived, not through mere accident, but through the deliberate efforts of individuals who understood the value of her insights. This preservation underscores the importance of actively combating the historical biases that often obscure the achievements of women and other underrepresented groups in science. Wang Zhenyi's story, once largely unknown, is now increasingly recognized, a testament to the ongoing efforts of scholars to recover a more complete and nuanced history of scientific thought. The recovery of her work is a vital step in correcting the historical record, ensuring that future generations have access to a broader and more accurate representation of scientific progress. Her story challenges the simplistic narrative of scientific advancement as a linear progression driven solely by a few prominent figures. It reminds us that scientific breakthroughs often emerge from diverse perspectives, and that a richer understanding of the past necessitates a more inclusive approach to historical scholarship. Her contributions to mathematics and astronomy were significant in themselves, but their deeper meaning lies in their context, the courageous pursuit of knowledge in the face of societal constraints. She actively challenged prevailing norms, asserting her right to intellectual exploration and leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Wang Zhenyi's ultimate significance transcends the simple categorization of woman scientist. Such labels, while acknowledging historical barriers, often risk reducing a complex individual to a single aspect of their identity. Her legacy is far richer, encompassing a fearlessness in intellectual pursuit, a commitment to interdisciplinary synthesis, and an unwavering belief in the universality of knowledge. She serves as a powerful model for anyone who dares to question established boundaries, to integrate seemingly disparate fields of study, and to pursue knowledge with unwavering passion. The integration of mathematics, astronomy, and poetry within her work showcases a unified approach to understanding the natural world. This holistic perspective stands in contrast to the often fragmented approach of modern academic disciplines. Her life and work, therefore, serve as a potent reminder of the importance of breaking down these artificial barriers and fostering a more integrated and inclusive approach to intellectual inquiry. Her enduring influence extends beyond the specifics of her mathematical and astronomical achievements. The clarity and accessibility of her explanations are qualities that continue to resonate profoundly in modern mathematics education. Her work serves as a beacon, demonstrating the feasibility of making complex scientific concepts understandable to a wider audience. Her pedagogical approach, implicitly woven into her work, is a testament to her commitment to sharing knowledge, to making scientific understanding accessible to all. This commitment, combined with her groundbreaking research, solidifies her position as a true pioneer in both scientific discovery and effective scientific communication. This legacy challenges us to emulate her interdisciplinary approach, her intellectual courage, and her profound commitment to making knowledge accessible to all. Wang Zhenyi's story, once nearly lost to time, now stands as a powerful testament to the enduring value of diverse voices in science. It is a reminder that progress is not achieved through the singular efforts of a few, but through the collective contributions of many, often overlooked individuals. Her life and work are a challenge to the often limited narratives of scientific history, compelling us to seek out and celebrate the contributions of those whose stories have been marginalized. By recovering and celebrating her legacy, we not only honor her achievements,
but also enrich our understanding of the history of science and the enduring power of intellectual curiosity. It is a story that inspires not only through its scientific content, but also through its profound human resonance, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit in the pursuit of knowledge. Her story, once almost forgotten, now stands as a potent symbol of the importance of a more complete and diverse history of science, a history that includes the countless forgotten intellects who, like Wang Zhenyi, illuminated the path of human understanding. The legacy of Wang Zhenyi is a call to action, a reminder of the vast potential that lies dormant when voices are silenced and perspectives are ignored, and a powerful inspiration for future generations of scholars.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.